Welcome back to our E3 prediction coverage. This time we're covering Sony. And I've gone with me here today, Gage, Paul.
Hello.
Ricky, Rickroll.
Hello.
And Azael.
Hello.
Okay, moving forward. We have
I just want to say
5 different predictions this time, and this time we will give our opinions on those predictions. The way the format works is essentially each one of us will take our own perspective on these different topics that we will discuss in this podcast-like video. Are you guys ready? Are your butts ready? Now be sure to leave a comment down below detailing what you think about these different predictions. Because if you do, you will win the GIMP suit on top of the eagle, wearing a monocle and a top hat with a tramp stamp. And now, all wearing a rubber ducky that will help you float. Bryden, take it off from here. And I'm not talking about your shirt.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm gonna now I'm gonna slow things down, and I'm gonna bring the reality. The reality is Gran Turismo 7 is going to be announced at the Sony conference, and if it is 2015, 2016, or 2017.
I think they're going to talk about it. I don't know if they're even going to show a trailer. I think they're just going to kind of be like, it's happening.
It's a thing.
And then it's going to come out in like 2019.
Okay,
they're going to buy Project Cars.
Yes, no. We're going to say no to the release date.
Yeah.
It's not even really going to be a thing. So, what about you, Ricky?
I like cars, so I think it's going to be a Project Morpheus thing. Like, they're going to show how cool it will be, but they're not going to set a release date. It's just going to be like, look, you can, like, drive a car. Next project.
Project
I think
Morpheus.
that'd be pretty cool. I think that'd be pretty cool. I'm not going to lie.
I think the Project Morpheus can handle that.
I think it can handle it. This is so much conjecture here. This is getting me riled up and crazy.
Holy!
I think
Let's calm down, Bryden. We haven't even let Azael talk, and you're getting all riled up. This is just gonna be an orgy of thoughts.
it's really great to have you all here. We've been talking for a little while, so it's we're deeply searching within ourselves for the ability to look forward and see all your beautiful faces. But the thing is, I think that Project Morpheus can handle it. I don't think that they would show that as the main thing, because I think that would scare some fans out of that. Because I know that there's a lot of people that have quite a bit of money. We were talking about whales before. I won't say that those people are whales per se, but those people that just want to play a racing game on their PS4, I mean, this isn't a thing that could be pretty big for them. So I think if they still show it off in a way in regards to it being a game that's out there, it's existing, it's going to come out. They probably don't throw a release date on it, but I don't think they're going to have any Morpheus stuff tied in personally. What about you, Zelda?
Oh, Sony always has their, like, traditional way of setting up their conference. They always have that, like, epic montage in the beginning, and then they have their section where they're tooting their own horn. We have this many studios, we publish this many critically acclaimed games kind of thing. I feel like somewhere in that sort of introduction to get people riled up, though, they might mention, like, Polyphony Digital. I believe they're the studio that does Gran Turismo, though. Oh, they're at work with another project. They might not. I'm assuming everyone would know that it's Gran Turismo 7. Maybe we see a logo, but I actually think that we'd know that, like, whatever the project they're working on, it'd be out by the end of 2016. So yes, a really light mention, sort of in the beginning. It's more of a no, actually. It'd kind of be like, because it doesn't get a spotlight. I don't know. You decide. But it would be.
I'm actually going to say no for myself. I was kind of saying that if they were to do that, that's what they do. But honestly, I think that they are going to have quite a bit to show off, and this is something that they can pull out at another point. So I'm going to actually say no for this one. I just think that they either mention it, like you said, in very brief, and if they do mention it very briefly, I will take the fault on that one. A no in this case means no mention of Gran Turismo. I mean, if they say, like, and Polyphony is one of our studios, and they're working on something, we all know it's Gran Turismo, but I would still count that as a no. So if you think they're going to be like that, then I would say no.
No, I would say then yes. Yes, and then end of 2016. Because I can't see them announcing it. I'm, like, confident. I have this gut feeling that it'll release in 2016. So I don't see them announcing a Gran Turismo the same day, or the same year that it's releasing, the way they did with 6.
Cool.
I don't see them announcing a Gran Turismo in the same, like, 3 years it's releasing.
Yeah.
I feel like they're about to change that trend, and it was just the PS3 hardware.
I think that they're learning their lessons too in regards to that, you know. So let's move on from that to a project that has been in the works for quite some time. Sony Bend is working on something. It's really well known that this is going to be announced at some point. Is it going to be at E3? And if so, is it a new IP or is it a Syphon Filter reboot?
I think, yeah, so Sony Bend is definitely going to announce their thing at this E3. I don't think it's going to be a Syphon Filter reboot. I think it's going to be a new IP. I don't think it's going to be anything they've done before. If I had to guess a game that's been done before, I would say it'd be a new Resistance, but I still don't think that's going to happen. I just don't think the Syphon Filter name holds that much weight anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think like that's going to be what gets people excited. I definitely think it's going to be a new IP from them.
Okay. What about you, Ricky?
I think, man, there's so many bad things in my head. I think that it'll be, I think they'll have a new IP. I would like to see a new Resistance game. I had a lot of fun in those. That's one of the reasons I bought a PlayStation. The very first Resistance was really fun. But a new IP from them would be interesting. They're very talented. But what I think they could definitely catch everybody, like, just out of nowhere is take advantage of that. You guys remember the Tony Hawk skateboard controller? And now you're in this hoverboard game where you're dodging lasers from unicorns.
Using the same controller.
Same controller, using the Tony Hawk ride controller with Project Morpheus. Go. That's legit.
Yeah.
Azael?
I think that what Gage said was pretty spot on.
I was giving the Azael the opportunity to speak, but he was just having a little giggle, so that's why I wasn't saying anything.
What Gage said seemed pretty accurate in the sense that Sony Bend of all the studios has been the most silent, and I think we'll get into it as we get into other predictions for Sony. I feel like a lot of these studios have a very complement-esque relationship with one another. Like, they're all working on projects, as Sony's mentioned, but it's more a matter of who's farther along on the project or who's had the most time. I think,
right?
Huh?
Azael, who's the father?
So I'd assume that Sony Bend
Luke,
would, if they'd show anything, it'd be a new IP.
Okay, so we're all going that way. I'm gonna say yes, new IP as well. So because we're all saying yes, new IP, I'm gonna spice this up a bit. I want us.
Hey, wait! What about mine?
You said yes,
Project
new
Morpheus. Project Morpheus ride controller.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't write that down properly. I'll fix that right now.
Yeah, you better. That document goddamn well better say the ride controller with Project Morpheus. Hoverboard game, laser unicorns. Okay, you can go.
I don't think I can fit all that in, but I'll write ride.
6 points if you get that correct.
I think if I get one of my crazy predictions right, you guys all will owe me like 33 cents. Okay? That's it. And I can retire.
Okay.
So our general income for the YouTube channel.
Hey, don't disclose that information.
Private information, Zell. What are you sharing?
They don't need to know our revenue.
They're part of our
We're
family.
gonna retire.
Okay, guys.
Okay, so before we move on to the next one, though, I just want to get quick thoughts. We can either write this down or not. But what do you think the game would be if it's a new IP?
Third-person action, like their previous game.
So you're thinking shooter, Gage, like
yeah,
third
just like
person?
a third-person action shooter that'll have multiplayer, but it'll be single-player focused. I don't think it'll be anything too exciting. I think it's just gonna be a new IP.
Cool. Ricky, what do you think? Oh, sorry. Actually,
No. I'm gonna put my professional opinion here. I've got my second bet, which is there, to help bail me out if I miss too many. But I do think that it'll be another third-person shooter. I think it'll be pretty cool.
Okay.
And I hope it's gritty. I hope it's gritty like Resistance. I like that kind of shit. So.
There's not enough gritty shooters out there.
I feel like just because it's the general trend for next gen, I don't think it's gonna be like a linear third-person shooter like Uncharted. I don't know if this sheds any more light, but they've been whenever they do talk, they talk about their technology. They don't specify any sort of game creation. They're not hiring for a specific kind of game, but I'd assume it'd be open world. Now, whatever it is from there, it'd still be third-person open world whatever. But I don't think it'll be just like a little project that just put aside, because they've been quiet for such a long time, and they've been talking so much about their technology in the same sense that Ready at Dawn has been before the Order released.
Do you think it would be? Do you think it would be like an action game, a stealth game, a shooter?
Open world horror game. There we go. Open world horror action.
I love that.
I'm not even joking though, but that's the rumor out there, is they're working on an open world horror.
Oh really?
Yeah, actually, legitimately, that's.
I haven't been following Sony Bend in such a long
Using
time
the
'cause they've
Tony
been so
Hawk
silent.
ride controller.
Against what's unicorns?
Zelda's gonna handle it. He's just like, oh. I'm gonna say third person open world stealth game that kind of is in the in the overall idea of like what Syphon Filter was, but it's gonna be like very futuristic. So kind of think like not necessarily cyberpunk, but kind of like that far ahead, like like that type of idea. I think it's gonna be stealth oriented. I think it's gonna be open world, and I think it's gonna be a third person game.
Actually, could I change mine from horror to something sci-fi related? I honestly would think that, I don't know, I feel like horror, they already have like a bunch of indie games to fill that kind of niche, and they don't have like a big sci-fi game like Halo or some other sorts to fill that kind of.
So we're saying the same thing then?
Wait, did you say sci-fi too? I thought you just meant it's like future. I guess that would just be the same thing.
Okay.
Quit copying me,
Just
Ryan.
put the ride controller in there, and then all of a sudden it's different.
It reads as OSI 3P. It's like almost C3PO. And I don't know how I'm gonna actually understand what that means in the future, but that's okay, because acronyms, you figure it out over time, right? The old well shoots something out of it. Jesus. What's the next one here? MediaMolecule, new project revealed. They showed off that kind of, it wasn't necessarily an actual project, but they were kind of like, look what we can do with the PlayStation. It was essentially just, it was a demo for not an actual game. And in this case, are they gonna reveal a new project? And the connection there, is it gonna be a Project Morpheus game?
I think it's going to be a new project. I think it's going to be Morpheus. I think it's going to be something along the lines of Tearaway, where it's more whimsical, childish. It's not going to be like a Tearaway sequel or anything related to Tearaway, but it'll be something that uses the Morpheus, like Tearaway used what was on the Vita. So I think that's what they're going to be doing.
Ricky?
I want... You guys are just all expecting me to go to the deep, dark depths of my mind. And I'm just going to take the conservative route this time.
Okay.
This time, yes, I think they'll just go on like more of the minimalistic, showing the hardware usage, kind of like, like when Kinect came out. They had, what was it, the Kinectimals, kind of that kind of shit. For the Morpheus, they need to get people acquainted with it. I know us as gamers, we're kind of used to the whole concept. We know what virtual reality is, but a lot of people really just don't grasp it. They don't understand it, and they need games like that to show it off on the bigger level. Like, here's how to use this, and then people are like, oh, I can see why this is here, and they need a game like that, and I think that's what they're going to be doing with ride integration.
Yeah, ride integration on every game. It's just a big multi-faceted, big
That's Tony
multi-million
Hawk's
dollar
new
deal.
thing. He's not even making skateboard games anymore. He's just making hoverboard games, common houseware games.
There is a skateboard game that works. Azael, what do you think?
I think of all the studios, of betting all the studios that are going to be there, of worldwide studios, MediaMolecule's a definite one, in my opinion. So yes, they would reveal their new project. Especially since last year they just did Tearaway Unfolded, so they just reminded us that they were still alive, but they didn't really show anything new in that sense. So I don't think they'd spend 5-10 minutes of the 2013 E3 conference to show Project Morpheus a little development showcase if they weren't going to make a game with Project Morpheus integration, especially since they're the go-to studio to take advantage of like Sony's quirky hardware. So yeah, definitely using Project Morpheus.
All right, so we're all hopping on this bandwagon because I'm going to say the same thing too, because they could not do that, but I look at them as the studio that are constantly pushing the envelope, and if this is a big thing for Sony. They're probably going to have their hands on it really early, and they're going to have a really cool thing to show off of it. I think one of the first real video games for VR is going to be a MediaMolecule game. I think that they're going to be at the opening of all VR, and it's going to be a Sony exclusive on Morpheus, but I think that they're going to be one of the grandfathers for like how is a game made with VR integration. So we'll move on to another studio that's been not necessarily quiet on the PS4 because they put out Killzone Shadowfall, but Guerrilla Games has multiple studios, and they've been long rumored on working on a new project. Is this the year that project is unveiled? And if so, what type of facet is it shown off? Demo, trailer, teaser? What are we gonna see?
So yeah, so the Guerrilla Games is behind Killzone, right?
Yes.
So I think it's gonna be a new Killzone.
So you're gonna keep banging that drum?
Yeah, they're just gonna keep that. They need to have something to keep.
Have you seen some of the Horizon screenshots? This is a very far off universe than Killzone.
Remember the one with and we're just putting you on the spot right now, but you remember the one with like, I was gonna say dragon, the dinosaurs and like...
Should have specified.
Oh shit.
It could be, I mean, a really, maybe a spin-off to Killzone or something.
Okay, dinosaurs are awesome, so we need to have more dinosaurs in games this generation. Let's have Turok remastered.
I don't want to remaster.
Project Morpheus.
We're gonna do something with Turok.
So what do you think? Is it Killzone, or what do you...
I'm gonna stick with Killzone. It's gonna be a Killzone spin-off story with dinosaurs.
All right.
Killzone
That'd be really cool.
And sorry, what is it gonna be? Is it gonna trailer, teaser, or is it gonna be gameplay?
It's gonna be gameplay.
Okay. All right. What about you, Ricky?
I want dinosaurs. So, the very like most obvious route would be to have another Killzone, just because it's what they're known for. But they had a demo, right, that had the like dinosaur spin-off kind of thing. Was it like related to the universe? I'll be honest, I really don't know much about the subject, so I don't want to make an opinion yet.
Yeah,
the
so
dinosaurs?
What is out there right now is Killzone is its own thing. There's been screenshots leaked of a game that they're working on, and it looks like it's separate in regards to like its design, because it's very like they're using bow and arrows. It's a little bit more like, it seems futuristic in some regards because the dinosaurs are mechanical, but or I believe they are, but the actual like characters have like wolves like pelts on them and stuff like that. Like,
okay,
it is a little bit more.
Now,
it's like futuristic, fantastical in some ways.
Okay, so I'd rather take that route. If there's been things like that, I mean, I know I've seen something like that. That's why I was asking, just for clarification, that it was them that it was rumored behind. But yeah, I'd much rather see that than a new Killzone. I think that too many studios are beating the dog behind the bush. Coming from a guy who's a Halo fan, and I'm super stoked for Halo 5 Guardians, but I think I want to see more new stuff, and I want to see dinosaurs brought back by a well-known studio, and I think that they could do it based on the things that I've seen, and I saw those images too, the like mechanical dinosaurs and shit. Mm-hmm. And yeah.
Demo, or do you think it would just be like a trailer? Or
I think demo. I think they need to, especially with Jurassic Park coming out this year. Like, just imagine a mechanical freaking dinosaur like rip someone apart. That'd be awesome.
Play on that dinosaur.
They need to. They need like a six-armed octopus dinosaur that like rips apart someone while riding on the ride controller.
that game's the most likely to have ride integration, if you ask me. Like, that's the one where I can see it happening.
I feel like it's the most likely, if it's a dinosaur game, to have Morpheus integration, because that'd be an impressive thing.
That'd be cool. Did you guys ever play the Jurassic Park game on the old system? Like, I think it was on SNES and 3DO. That game was creepy because it had that like acid dinosaur that would like pop up and jump scare you. And the fucking
Did
game
you guys
was
play the one that
E.
came in cereal boxes sometime in the 90s, where you had to the T-Rex would scan back and forth, and you had to click to get into the different bushes to hide?
I was barely a 90s baby.
Those games were scary, man. They were horrifying. There was a dinosaur eating your soul.
I played a racing game which was like Racing Across America or something like that. I forget the exact name. And there was this one part on one track where a dinosaur would pop out of a bush, and it would be like a paper, like, you know, like 2D dinosaur, and it would make it like a noise, but actual dinosaur noise.
And you're like,
not
oh my god, Gerald!
That was pretty much me, except I was more crying and less screaming. So,
Okay, making sure. Okay.
Yeah, it's accurate. What about you, Azael, though, for Guerrilla?
As exciting as the new Horizon pictures make the game look, I don't think that. I think it's very highly unlikely. I don't think that we're gonna see anything from Guerrilla Games. No gameplay, no demo, not even a mention of their new project.
Just them getting laid off on stage.
No, I mean, with them transferring Sony Cambridge to Guerrilla Cambridge, I highly doubt that they're going to start laying people off. I think
700 people are now fired and without a job. Who's hiring? Microsoft, I'm looking at you. Sorry.
I think that one of the things that we kind of lose sight of with just focusing on Sony's E3 conference is how many conferences they attend every year, right? I don't think they're doing Gamescom this year, but they usually do Gamescom, TGS, all these like side conferences. Then they hold their own. I mean, they're not scared. What was the one last year? It was end of the year last year.
Experience was there.
PlayStation Experience. Like, I feel like if we were going to see Horizon anywhere, it's going to be there. And it's not like Guerrilla Games has been quiet all this time. And more so that, as I mentioned before, if they're going to give spotlight to something, they're probably going to give it to Sony Bend's title instead, and MediaMolecules, instead of Guerrilla Games, who's been publishing a game, making an expansion, and constantly, you know, showing the tech of the PS4, while those two studios have stayed silent. So,
all right. Yeah, for me, I'm gonna say yes, and whatever Project Horizon is, that's what's gonna be unveiled. It's not gonna be connected to Killzone, and they're gonna show a full demo. This is gonna be like, if they have something up their sleeve, this is what they're gonna show. But it won't be the closer, because I'm just gonna say this right now. The Last Guardian is gonna be at E3, guys. I can feel it in my bones. It's coming out fall 2015. Get ready. Time for Ueda. Time for whatever.
what do you do when a TV Code game is released?
Oh my god.
No, I mean, without a doubt, Shadow of the Colossus is my favorite game of all time. So anything The Last Guardian, anything from that studio.
The prediction is The Last Guardian re-unveiled, set for release, blank. But I'm going, it's going to be unveiled, and it's going to come out this fall. You want to fight me?
Yeah, the last Guardian.
Come at me, bro!
I don't think they'd need Horizon if they had The Last Guardian and it was set for release this fall.
Last Guardian is closing the show.
They don't need a show. They just need to show The Last Guardian.
It's gonna be everybody's
60 minutes. The Last Guardian. Fuck everyone else.
Nope. Last Guardian's never coming out, ever. Maybe next year Team Ico will announce something new, but Last Ico is not. They're not going to talk about it. It's been too long.
All right, I'm writing your no down, and I'm gonna take your man tears, and I'm gonna rub them off the skin. And
that's a good point. Not to interrupt you, but I don't think anybody, or as I've seen, explore the possibility that it's not gonna be The Last Guardian. It's just gonna be a new title, but it's still gonna be by Team Ico. I still think it's gonna be The Last Guardian, but that's an interesting perspective, Gage.
Riggy, is The Last Guardian real? Please tell me it's real.
I have dreams about it on some nights. But anyways, I don't think it's going to be unveiled. I don't think they're going to do anything about it. I'm just going to play that no card. I'm going to be safe. I need points. I've been throwing right into everything else, just fucking my points. So, I mean,
I'm going to be safe too. And say yes. Yes! 2016!
Okay, 2016, I can get behind that.
I want Last Guardian to still exist, but it just doesn't.
It does exist. That little doggy rooster thing is happy and he's playing in a field right now.
Oh my god, no.
That's what I think. I don't know.
I just don't think that they need to rush it out to fall. Like, as long as people know it exists and it's coming out soon, they can say Last Guardian, yes, 2018, and people would be okay with it. So
if they say 2018.
That's a more definitive date than they've given in the past.
I mean, like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't believe myself. I'm lying to myself, but I want to believe, and that's okay. You know, we all have to hold on to something.
I want to believe. Wasn't that Parappa the Rappa in PlayStation All Stars?
Oh my god.
Yeah, no Parappa though. It's dead. Well,
we need more Parappa. Okay, we have a
The
6th
Scalebound
edition.
director.
Parappa, developed by Guerilla Games, coming 2013. Go.
Project Morpheus integration. Oh, guys, before we actually shut off these, let's put in a little love for my favorite little buddy, PlayStation Vita. Gravity Rush 2, 2015. Yeah, no. Okay.
Gravity Rush 2 coming to PS4.
That would be devastating. You don't understand.
PlayStation Vita
Some
is
sort of
canceled.
indie game comes to the Vita.
I'm not even joking. I will put this prediction out as an extra prediction.
Add this
Gravity
prediction.
Rush 2.
Gravity Rush 2,
bonus.
PlayStation Vita exclusive,
No.
2015.
PS4.
Have you
Our
guys
last
seen our
hurrah.
Patreon account?
We have a Patreon?
No.
For the last little
My
piece,
prediction is someone
you
throws
must
a
donate
PS Vita on stage and
$433
PS Vita.
to my private Swedish account, and Bryden will personally send you his voice in an email telling you his 6th prediction.
Hey, maybe Guerilla Cambridge, since maybe they're working on a Killzone Mercenary sequel or something else for Vita.
The Vita
Unlike-
is...
No one's
Not
picking
dead.
on
The
Vita.
Vita is alive and well with all the ports it's getting, but it's not getting any AAA love anymore, I don't think.
Gravity Rush 2.
But yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for Sony. Share your thoughts. Tell us, make me feel better inside, please. Tell me, you can even lie. You know, you don't need all the points. You can edit your own things. Like, you don't need to win every single one. You can lie to me and tell me that Last Guardian's coming out this fall, and I'll believe you like the sucker I am. But
Don't
you know,
don't play with his ego. Take the safe side. Gather your points so I can Photoshop you riding an eagle into the sunset,
Team Bride.
wearing a gimp suit, a monocle, a top hat, a tramp stamp, all wall.
And a sore
Writing.
pinky, right?
Yeah, and a very, very sore pinky.
That's it for this one, guys. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for Nintendo and Square Enix. And if you just stumbled upon this one, I'm sorry. We are actually more professional than you think, usually.
Now
But
featuring
just
Ryan.
Check our RedTube account, and you'll see our videos there. Very professional.
Whoa. I like my RedTube account. Has anybody here seen a donkey let go
Goodbye,
of his
everybody.
fluids?
Yeah,
But don't stop it here!